Good morning, everyone. Just give me a minute. I'm just started a live. Okay. Anyhow, this is going to be a recorded session, so people can watch later point of time. So I don't need to wait for more people. So hi, this is Hari Patela. So I'm working as a solution architect, and I'm based out of the UK. So might be my voice is not clear as every day because I got some cold. At the same time, it's 5:30 early morning, so my voice may not be best for you guys, but please bear with me. So the today's session is about resume preparation for both experienced and fresher candidates. So generally, I categorize a resume into three formats. The first format is a fresher guy. The second category is mid experience. We tell it as 3 to 9 years. Then a business executive kind of a profile, like senior manager kind of a roles. And the agenda is I'll walk through the freshers and experience both resumes and what are the major sections we are going to have in resume, and I'll show you some tips or the shortcuts which can be useful for you guys to pick your resume among many, and also I'll talk about what we shouldn't call out in the resume when it's not 100% I can say, but I try to avoid, or we try to avoid those kind of resumes if we see. So the major section of the resume, this is going to be a major section based on your skill or profile. Like if you're an experienced guy, your profile looks something different, or if you're a fresher, your profile looks different. So based on your experience, we'll rearrange, but these are the topics we can see or we are going to see in the resume. So the first one is the name and contact details. This is very important. So name and contact details. Let's see. Day before yesterday, also I have received one resume with 13 plus years experience. What they did, they forward me a resume. The name is on the top, and they have given a contact details in the bottom of the last page. So when I forward this resume to HR, they ask me, where is the contact detail? So we are unable to reach the candidate. So sometimes the HRs knows us, so they, as we are a senior person, so they can't deny, or they just consider the resume and they contact back. If any fresher or any junior resource sends the resume, then definitely they'll take off the resume from the group of selection process. The reason, so they're unable to find the contact details. Even also, as that resume is 10 years experience, it came up to 4 or 5 pages, and each HR person, sometimes he may get 10, 100, 20, 200, and they need to sort out very quickly and they need to finalize. So make sure your name and contact detail shows on the top. Then the second one is career objective. So career objective is something like you need to tell the people why and what you are looking for. So this is all we can say that in the career objective. And when it comes to the career summary, so career summary talks about what you did so far, what companies you work, what kind of work you, what kind of projects you worked on, how many years of experience, what technologies you worked on. All these things we call out in this career summary. For the freshers, you may not need to say this one, but if you worked on any uh, project during your college days or part of internship, you can call out in the career summary. And when it comes to education details, for the experienced persons, you don't need to call out specifically in the top, you can call out in the bottom. And for the more than 8 years, 10 years person, you don't need to call out all the education details from the masters, graduation, intermediate, and 10th class or SSC. So for experience, you just need to call out the highest qualification, and the freshers, you need to do the top-down approach. Like, what is the highest qualification? Is it a BTech, or it's a master's, MSc, MCA, whatever it may be, and then go to the graduation and make sure that you need to call out the passed out year and the percentage, pass percentage, both should be there. So this is very important for you guys. And then it comes to the skills and certification. So this is the area which generally people more interested in look into your profile. Based on this only, they'll select the profile. So what skills you have and whether the skills matches with the current requirement. Because most of the time for experienced profiles, we look for the skills which is equally matching or nearby. For those profiles, we first consider. So skills is very important, and certification is always a value add. We say you have some certified person, it's kind of, you did a BTech, you have a knowledge, but until unless you won't get the certificate, you're you're zero. You can say that I have plenty of knowledge. I have some people, some blunt statement the students will give. Knowledge is important. The marks is not important. It's a blunt statement. I don't agree with that. So knowledge always comes with the marks, not maybe 100 percentage, but at least 80 percentage or 70 percentage. It covers that. So make sure that with this current competition world, make sure that at least you have a 70 percentage and try to achieve more than that, or else it's very difficult for the especially freshers to pick your profile. And there are some companies like TCS and all, they, I think even Infosys also looks consistency in their education. Like if you have a 16 SSC, you should have a 60 plus in plus two and plus plus plus. So they always see the career graph going up rather than coming down. Maybe in the technical interview, they might not ask this question, but when it comes to the HR, they'll ask this question: what happened? Why your education came down? What's the reason? So it's very difficult sometimes to justify, because nobody want to hire a candidate whose career graph is high and it's fall down very drastically. They'll correlate that in the work culture also. So make sure that you always 1%, 2% try to increase more from the plus two. And the third and the next section is roles and responsibilities. The roles and responsibilities for the freshers, basically if you are doing any internship or any project, you need to call out what you have done and what role you have played. Let's say you are 2 3 people are doing a project, so you need to call out which module you worked on. Are you part of design? Are you part of testing? Are you part of development? So what role you have? Are you are part of requirement collection? So you all these things you need to call out here. So, and the project experience. So if you are experienced guy, so you have to call out your project experience, and it's always like a top to bottom approach. Like what is the recent project, and try to be very descriptive and very informative. And the current project always matches with the current requirements, because most of the people are the recruiter or even the interviewer always looks the same domain knowledge or same experience a person available, because it's very easy for us to take that person and hire them, and very minimal what we say training required for that person. So make sure that when you are a experienced person or when you are even fresher, make sure you articulate well the project experience, so that will be value add for everybody. And apart from that, if you are an experienced person like 10 plus years and you have so many projects, you don't need to call out each project wise what you done and all. So instead, you can just give a project name and a client name. Client name is always value add. The reason I'm saying, there are many companies, they look for the international client experience. So because if you start working with international client, you know how to work with the international people, how to handle the work, international people. So always make sure that if you worked on any international project, especially US or Europe region, please be specific and please call out the tenure. And if you have any on-site experience also, be descriptive and call out properly. That will be valued very much for the people. And then the employment details. So I suggest put this employment details a little bit upper. I'll show the sequence where we have to call out all these ones. Employment details is like, again, it's everything is also top to bottom approach. So which company currently you are working in, and from when to when, and what designation you are playing now, what role you got when you are joined. There are some people who joined so 4 or 5 years back. Maybe he joined as a lead, but now he is a senior architect or something. So you don't need to call all saying that I started as a lead and now architect. So when you call as architect, that's enough. But you should be justifiable. I have seen a profiles where they join the company. When they got a promotion, immediately they try to jump the company, and they might be played a lead role for quite long some time. When they got a manager role, within the 6 months they try to switch other company, try for a senior position. So that won't help them, because when we saw the profile, we can easily understand even he's a manager whether he's capable to a senior manager role or not. So make sure that when you are applying, you should know what you are up to. And there are some cases you work in same role, you might get same role in other companies, because role depends from the company to company. Maybe in a junior company or a small company or CMM level 4 or 5 company, you might be a manager. When it comes to the bigger companies, the same role comes as a lead role. So you have to be ready with that. You can't say that, okay, I worked as a manager, I want as a manager. So it's all, when we select the candidate, we'll look into the criteria where exactly he fit into. Then the last one is personal details. So personal details is like you need to call out your family, not in detail, but at least your father name and where you live and all that will. And you have any extracurricular activities, you can call out. So so name and contact details. This is the name and contact details. uh, I'll just probably these slides I'll go very quickly, and I'll show you 2 sample profiles, and I'll walk through the profiles rather than showing in the PPT. So I'm walking through the PPT because after session, you people also can go through the PPT and note down some of the points. So it will be useful for you in the future. So name and contact details. So always you need to give your name on the left hand side. It's always suggestible. But it's not a thumb rule. You have to put in the left hand side. But I'll suggest always put a name on the left hand side. Under the name, you try to give your current designation or what role you're saying. Like myself, Hari Patela, solution architect for Dynamics, solution architect for some XYZ technologies. That will give a glance to the HR person. Okay, this is the guy what we are looking for, or it says that what you hold up to. Then the right hand side corner, I try to be put my first mobile number, then I'll put my email ID, so that it's very easy for them to communicate or they can see. And the another advantage for is to put a current city and country. The reason I'm saying, there are some certain requirements where they try to hire the people from the local, especially when it comes to the support. The reason support, it's always like 24/7 support. So if you come from the distant location, they might not. I mean, the first criteria is what we say, skill only. But always the current location will gives edge for the certain skill set, because the candidate has to be 24/7 available. So they always prefer to hire the persons who in the cities, and there are some jobs city specific, so that the commute and all also easy for them. So they have really less travel for the location or from the hometown and all. So to call out the current city. So when it comes to fresher, yeah, same, name, mobile number, and all. And for the experienced person, in the right hand side, when you call out the mobile number and email ID, in the bottom you can give your, if you are certified, uh, certified, then you can give a header on top of that saying that I'm Microsoft certified business architect, Microsoft certified solution architect, like that. And you have any LinkedIn ID, give the LinkedIn profile ID also. 90% of senior profiles, even we won't apply also, we get a calls through LinkedIn only, because they'll always, if you go certain level, they always look into the network and say that, okay, who is available with the same skills, and sometimes the jobs also pop up for you. So always to have a LinkedIn profile. And sometimes what persons or we also do, if any candidate or any senior profile or any good person we are trying to hire, we'll see who is the mutual. Then if we have any mutual friend and we know about each other, if we know them, then definitely we try to take a feedback on the candidate also after doing the interview, or sometimes we do before interview. That will give you a positive impression on the candidate. So always have a good LinkedIn profile and a good network in the IT world. Like a Facebook is like, it's all about the communication and friends and all. But when it comes to the professional life, the Facebook are personal, and LinkedIn is professional. So if you want to be a good IT guy, you have to be in LinkedIn. And then the blogs. So there are some, I mean, now YouTube is trending. So a lot of people, they're making videos and keeping in YouTube. Or else earlier days, most of the people, they used to write in a blogs. So every person in this technology, they used to write their own blog and call out what they are doing. If they found any critical things, they fix anything, they used to put in the blogs. But there is a condition in the blog. While you are writing a blog, make sure that any content from the client shouldn't copy paste into the blog. I have seen a cases where he was an excellent a developer, and he faced one issue, and he is able to fix that issue. While found when he faced the issue, he tried to search in online. I mean, he didn't get the solution. Then he thought, okay, a lot of people also trying for this issue and nobody got solution. And the blunder what he made, he just copy paste the code into that blog. And unfortunately, when he's trying the solution, same time the client side manager also trying to look for the solution, and he found their client code on the blog. So they send an email to us and asked why our proprietary code has gone to the site. So when you're writing a blog, make sure that you don't have any client specific, and you can do a mock code in your personal laptop or somewhere, and don't put any client code. So blog is very important. So this is the first one. Then career objective. So it's like this. So for the freshers, you can call it as, I'm a BTech mechanical with strong software design database. The reason why you have to tell this, because if you say I'm a BTech graduate with so and so technology, that gives us saying that, okay, this candidate came with this background, and we, by seeing after that, okay, these are the subjects he knows. So this is very important for any person. So wherever you go, I mean, if you go to the library, what you do, you see the index, or you see the first 2 3 pages or first 10 pages. So same way, if you get a profile also, we see the first page first. So in this first page, how much best information you have given, that will value add, or that's give a more essence to your profile. Make sure that you call out the terms like software design, database. Without knowing, don't call out. But I prefer to learn and call out this. That gives some more flavor to your profile. And for the experienced people, you could just say that, I mean, I have this experience, and I worked on this technology, so and so. And this is a career summary. So career summary is something like it's more looks like objective, but objective is a two, three liner. But career summary is something like what you learn and where you passed out and what are the technology you know and what you have hands on, what domain experience you have if you are experienced. All this we call it in the career summary. Then education details. Education details, as I told earlier, so always you call out the from top to bottom. So what is the highest degree and when is you passed out degree and you call out the percentage and you call out the what college or what location you have because you always remember in your class 30 persons are there. So if 30 people are attending interview, so we'll get the same 30 profiles. So what's how I can differentiate, okay, how I can pick this profile, because we can't take interview for 30 people. So we have to scrutinize one after one. So first we see as a marks, then we go to the skills, then we go to the location, then what is the specialization. So these are the different primary things we have in this profile. So make sure that you be odd man out or you should be best among all, or else you can't be picked like regular ones. So for the experienced ones, you just call out the latest degree details and the specializations you call out. Then roles and responsibilities. So the roles and responsibilities for the freshers, it may not be mandatory, but if you worked on any intern project or if you worked on a college project and you worked on a specific module, let's say if, as I told earlier, if you are three, four persons working on this project and you played a certain role in this module, then you can call out that module and what you did on the module, how you did a requirement analysis and all. The experienced persons, you have to clearly call out roles and responsibilities. This is very key area for any profile because we basically look into this, what skill set he has. If you are a manager, you say that I managed 30 members of a team with USA clients, like some blah blah blah. We can say, but when you are a senior architect or developer or something, then you can say that okay, I worked in particular domains because there are some companies they'll hire a resource based on the domain knowledge also because they need UHG, the health group, they look for Wells Fargo banking. They prefer the banking because even you know the knowledge, even you know the technology, domain knowledge is very important. And technology you can get outside. I mean, you can go to any institute and you can learn, but the domain knowledge, you have to have a real time experience. At the same time, you need to step into that. So you need to understand personally how the system inside it works. It looks I mean, take simple example of Dell. So it looks just a laptop company or whatever it may be, but to produce a laptop we cross across 20 to 25 systems and 20 to 25 processes. There's a lot of domain knowledge required to understand and do the development. So make sure that you call out whatever the specific domains you have, and you always call out the quantity and the people benefit from the system. That will give a more value and they can see that how robust you are able to involve in the design and how robust system you have designed. Like if you say that the system what I designed using by 20 million people across the US or across the Europe, that will gives that okay, you were involved in a good a complex solution and they'll consider you. And coordinating with on-site offshore, this is a very important role. So because when you are in MNCs, most of the projects we have on-site offshore projects only. So you'll have on-site coordinator and the guy who are on-site get the information and work with offshore and make sure that delivery happens smooth. And this is a critical role for offshore also. The guy who are working offshore, he is able to communicate properly with on-site, and when he establish a good relation with the client and on-site team, he'll get a future opportunities also. Okay, and this is the project experience. When I say project experience, so if you college passed out, call out which company or which client you work for the intern call internship project, and what is the duration. And for the experienced persons, you just need to call out the client name, duration, a project description, a team size, and what technology is used and what roles and responsibility you played specific to that project. So because if you worked on multiple projects, it's not mandatory you play the same role. Some project you worked as a SSRS report developer, some projects you worked as a more SQL background procedural developer. So it's not mandatory everybody has to do same role, and maybe you also has to play the same role in every project. Okay, and one more thing is always call your projects top-down approach. So the highest or the most recent project you keep on top, and put the least or 5 years, 10 years back work project in the last. And employment details. Here, you need to call out what is the latest company and from when you are working, what role you're playing. Then, apart from that, if you have any on-site experience, you call out that as a separate section, because that's always value add, because people always prefer to hire the on-site persons. The reason I'm saying, and you also see most of the people who traveled on site, they'll go regularly. The reason, the guy who would have on site experience, he knows how to communicate, because on site is just not on site, it's just a cultural difference also. We need to understand what's the client requirement, how, what is the cultural differences, work culture differences, personal cultural differences, how to interact with them, how we are able to get the information passed on to offshore and get it done things. So on-site experience is very important. If you have more on-site, call out in the profile. And yeah, that's it. The personal details, just a date of birth, father name and address, and sports. If you have any social activities and all, these will be very value add for the college passed outs, because some of the games or some of the activities shows your behavior, and during the HR interview it's very helpful, and HR's easy to understand what is your nature, and they can assess you and they try to uh, recommend for next level, or they can offer you. And apart from that, you need to call out any visa available. So if you have any visa, some of the companies they look for the existing visa holders. So make sure that you have any valid B1 visa, saying that you have a B1 visa 2045 or 2025 something. You just need to call out there. Yep. Okay. So resume. The do's are you should have a clear personal details saying that name, contact details, job title, location, and it's always, as I said, the real location plays a key role, because some of the companies they look for the specific roles, specific local candidates. So make sure that you call out your location, and always use the special keywords. Like if you are looking for a Java developer, so you need to call out Java specific keywords which you worked in the project. And if you work in Azure, you just need to have an experience in SaaS, ISaaS, the specific terminologies related that, because most of the profiles they search by, I mean, they filtered by HR. So what the HR will do is they'll ask for JDs from the senior people like us. What they'll do is, okay, we have a job for 4 years experience of Java guy. Could you please give us a job description? Then we'll frame that, okay, 4 years or 7 years, between 4 and 7 years, what kind of job roles we are looking, and we give the description to the HR. So most of the HR is not mandatory. They know the skills and they have the skill set understanding the profiles. What they'll do is whatever the document we have provided, one pager, they'll go and get the one pager and just search the keywords. If luckily your profile matches with the keyword, then they'll send us the profile for your second review, saying that, okay, I found these profiles, could you please validate? Then we look into the, when it comes to us, okay, fine, because we know what in and out of the profile. But when it filter in the first level itself, should have that keywords which generally used. And make sure that resume is easily readable. Don't put a paragraphs 10 pages, 20 pages and all. Make sure that it easily readable. Then resume structure format. Yeah, the format is very important. I'll show you two sample profiles, fresher and experience. Then you can understand how it's going to be. And try to put full words rather than abbreviations, like I mentioned here, right? SW. So it's not mandatory. Everybody knows, understand what is SW. So we give a full name and call out hands-on. I mean, hands-on experience. So there are two keywords always makes some difference. A lot of people they put I have a knowledge, I have hands-on experience. This is the very crucial two words plays a vital role while selecting the candidates, because hands-on experience give you confidence saying that okay, this candidate worked and he knows about the technology. Knowledge says that this guy know, but we are not 100% sure that he knows about the technology. So make sure if you really worked on that project, it may not be the immediate project. You may worked in 2 years, 3 years back. Make sure to call out as a hands-on experience and don't try saying that okay, I worked this technology 3 years back. I'm not sure. I don't know, but you worked on this project, so maybe you need to brush up one time and then you can uh, crack the interview. So make sure that you have a hands-on experience on when you're calling any specific things, like I have hands-on experience on so XYZ technology, or I have hands-on experience in automation. So make sure that words call out. And if you have any recognitions, like you got any awards, or you attended any seminars, or you are become an MVP, or you have any achievements, you call out those ones. That's always value add. And call out visa. And titles is very important. So when you are calling out in the project and project where roles and responsibilities, maybe you looks as a solution developer or a system developer, but you might played a design role. So you can call out those specific. So as a senior software engineer, I worked as a design guy, but sometimes it won't match us because we think that okay, how come this senior developer is able to involve in the design? So this is the tricky thing. You should be able to justify, or else you stick with the roles what you are playing. So I have seen a profile where says that they are developers, but they say that we are involving the design. So it's not always all the cases. When it comes to experience, I mean, bigger companies, we will treat some experience or certain experience only for the design roles. Not everybody can do that. So, but luckily in the smaller companies or mid companies, you'll get opportunity to work on all the areas. So if you are really passionate about the technology, I always suggest to start with a smaller organization, work in a smaller company where you become 1 to Z. So you have to do all analysis, coding, development. Then you get a complete hands-on within a 2 years, 3 years experience, you know, in and out. Then you start working in a bigger organization. The advantages in the bigger organization, you'll know more about the process. When it comes to the smaller organization, you know more about the technology. So you need both a combination. So by 5 years, you should be able to gel both together. So I always prefer for a junior resource, always start with the smaller companies and go with 3 years. By the time you hold the technology, then you go into the process. Okay, and the first and foremost important thing, the saving, of the profile. So because everybody sent the profile, and HRs or any even the senior, the interviewer saves in hard disk. How I know that which is profile? I just say Hari resume. Then what is all about Hari resume? So I should know Hari how much he is experience and what's my specialization, what role I'm looking for. This give easy understanding. Okay, by seeing the title itself, we can understand. Okay, this guy have a real me in the profile. So make sure that you save the resume with proper experience. For the freshers, what you can say is Hari BTech ECE 2017 passed out, or 2017, like that you can give with 70 percentage, like that you can give. That itself gives understanding. We don't need to go inside the profile, and the name itself tells us. And don't, when it comes to the don't put big paras in this, and make sure that your career objective projection description is very short and very sweet. Don't go into the big paras, and always check the spelling and grammars. So if you don't know the English, be corrected with some other person who knows well about English, because the first impression, if the spelling and grammars are not good, that itself says that this guy doesn't have good communication skills. So make sure that you don't have any spelling and grammar mistakes. And I try to avoid, if you have big gaps with medical, you can just give a gap between your professional summary. Let's say I worked till 2012 December, then I need to take a 6 month gap. Then the next project, next company you started at 2013 July, then don't need to call out 6 months gap over there. You just give the next experience from July 13 to maybe June 2015. So until unless somebody asks, don't call out the gaps, because when they see the gaps, there could be a number of reasons. So that give you a negative impression. You always give an experience, proper experience. I'm not saying that don't say that you have a gap, but you give a differentiation in the experience summary, but specifically don't call that I have 1 year experience gap due to my health condition. That gives a negative impression to the HR, saying that this guy is not physically fit, or that's not a positive vibe for the profile. So make sure that don't call out. And current salary and expected salary, I try to avoid call those current and ETCs, because the HR persons, I mean, even the senior profile, company to company, the salaries varies. Where I have seen a 7 year experience guy getting 10 lakhs, at the same time, 7 year experience guy, we give us 6 lakhs in the same profile, same name. It all depends on how it coming from earlier company, and how it comes from your experience, what skill set you have, and all. So, and sometimes you might call out saying that I need a general thumb rule. Most of the people who are attending interview, they see that, okay, I'll ask 20%, 30%, 60%. Based on that, they'll say that I have a current salary of 4 lakhs and my expected is 30%. That is going to be for 1.2. That is going 5.2. I just want a random pitch saying that 5.6 or 5.7. That's not, because you never know. The company have a standard to hire such a candidate. They may offer you 7 lakh, 8 lakhs. So until unless you don't know what exactly the figure in your mind, and don't call out those in the profile. And moreover, it looks like you are looking more money than work. So make sure money is important, but you shouldn't show in the profile. And format your profile. So make sure that you format your profile properly. So I have seen many profile, they don't do a proper format, and moreover, don't prepare in the last minute. A lot of people, even if they are in a job, they try to prepare in the last minute. Don't do that. I mean, you always keep updating your profile and keep adding your skills, enrich. And sometimes better to check in your market also what your profile weightage and what you are up to. That gives understanding where we are on the technology side, how best we can do. And don't use unprofessional email IDs. So somebody give Hari Smart. Those words are not looking good. So if you are from certain, I always prefer to put my name and surname. If you don't get that email ID, then you just give a Hari BTech or whatever the relevant, or Hari.net, like that. I prefer. And don't give any false information. So This is how we categorize the profile. So for fresher resume, name, career objective, education qualification, skills, certification, project experience, internship, personal details. This is the format we follow. This is the structure we follow. When it comes to the experienced person, 1 to 8 years, I prefer to go with the profile more than two to three pages, because always first page you give what your objectives, what's your skills, and your company details and all. Second and third page go with your project experience. So more than 3 4 pages is not enough. If you give a bundle also, nobody is going to read those all pages. And for experience, name, contact, career, and skills, roles and responsibility, project, employment detail, highest education, extracurricular activities, and if you have any on-site, you do call out on-sites also. When it comes to the senior profile, additionally, you need to call out any certifications, or any you need to say, I have managed a 10 million project with 20 resources for 3 years, a Europe-based company. So that gives a meat, or it gives a flavor to your profile, saying that okay, this guy worked in a multinational company, multinational client, and he has deal with a good million project. So yeah, that's it from the category wise. Yeah, I told you right earlier. So this is how the percentage we look for when we look into the profile. So where do you live? That is very important. Then what skills you have? That gives a 30 percentage. And then project experience. So if the company is looking for a specific technology or domain, so you need to more highlight that project in the profile. So yeah, because we always try to hire the people who having that knowledge and currently working on that knowledge, because they are already doing that project, so we don't need to train much them. So make sure that you do this. And specialized skills, yeah, this is an additional advantage. So let's say if I get a same location, same skill set, same project experience, how I can differentiate between both? Then I'll go one step ahead, and I see what additional certifications and skills these guys have. So troubleshooting or performance tuning, or if you have any third-party application knowledge or integrations, any integrations he worked on, this give the differentiate. This is going to be a big differentiator. So these are the candidate filtering criteria for us, because most of the time when we schedule any interview for freshers or experience, the all the people will came. The 1% make difference for everybody. So you have to be in that 1%. So even you write any bank exams, at certain level, all the students will get a same percentage, but after that, you'll have very less people. So make sure you fall into the next level. And on-site offshore experience, this is another value add for the profile, especially if you are hiring for a multinational project. So on-site experience value add very good. So make sure that if you have any on-site experience, do call out in that. And the final one is, so it's not mandatory to we call out all these, or we consider all this. We consider all these based on the profiles we got on the day, and the competition what I have seen some cases where we got same location, same experience, same specialized skills, same on-site. Then I look for the additional information. Does he has any blogs, or does he have any awards? How he's LinkedIn, and who he worked on all. So, and these are the keywords you need to put. I took from earlier IT section. These are the keywords you use technology wise to show your profile more adequate. And for anyone, if you are attending interview, okay, let me complete the profile resume wise. Yeah, this is how the fresher resume looks like. You just need to call out the name, email ID, this one, and you can move this also. There is no defined process. You can put here and there. So yeah, that's up to you guys. And for freshers, why I want to call like this, why I suggested this. Uh, for experience, yes, I can call out in the bottom saying that I know this. But for freshers, you should able to showcase your specialization. So I think you need to call out saying that, okay, I know these technologies. Then you are differentiating from the regular fresher. So make sure that you call out whatever the languages or whatever the design methodologies or DBMS concepts, you just call out here. And this is the objective. And this is how we call put education. There are multiple formats. It's not mandatory you have to call out like this. You can put saying that college name, with the dedication and percentage and all. And this is a skill set. So I always suggest to split the skill set like programming skills, design tools, operating systems, database that give a clear understanding for the people how you are able to understand what are the different work streams. This applies with both the freshers and experience. So I suggest split this into like this. And this is the project experience. The project experience, you just need to call out what is the title of the project, and then what is the client name and what environment you work. Operating system is not mandatory, but there are some certain projects, networking projects. Please do call out because latest Azure or the Linux experience sometimes value add. So if you're working on specific ones, you can call out the operating system also, and duration is how much time. So either you call out duration here or you say that 17th June, not 17th June, June 2017 to April 2018, like that. You can also call out in the corner. And the description, this is very important for the project. So you just briefly describe about the client and what's his nature of work and what you are doing in that project. Then you call out I have called out strength because in between you should be able to call out the roles and responsibilities. And for freshers, you just need to call out what is your strengths, and weaknesses is not mandatory to call out. When they ask, you just need to tell the weaknesses. This is a fresher profile. Then I'll show you the experience profile. Yeah, if you see here, the experience profile objective is this, and total experience is this, and ERP experience and knowledge, and company wise what you did, and technical summary, bachelor degree, and if you have any certification, training. Yeah, and this is about the client, what the client and what is the domain, industry, and what your roles and responsibilities. You call out like this, and this is another format. So whatever the format you used, it doesn't matter. But end of the day, are you able to present? Because profile is the first thing is going to present your skills. Before, if you want to get into the interview, first you should be able to please your profile. You should be able to please your profile. So make sure that you provide short and sweet information and crispy and straight information in the profile, and make sure that have enough information. Only by seeing this profile only they are going to call you. So your profile should be sharp and able to select one call. And this is the senior profile. I just call out my name and what is the primary skills. So again, the primary, secondary, why I say that. So I have hands-on on .NET and I have a hands-on A for might be ERP knows they know that, and I might have a hands-on SQL Oracle also. So my primary might be .NET or Dynamics, but my secondary is going to be SQL. Any third-party tools I know, those going to be my, or SharePoint. Those are going to be my secondary. So you should be able to distinguish. If you put everything, the interviewer, whoever may be taking the interview, they can't understand what kind of technology you are using, or whether you are strong in .NET or you're into SQL. So slightly differentiate what and call out the any third party tools you used. Sometimes this is very value add because a lot of companies they look for the people who knows the specific tool knowledge also. And then this one, don't need to call out all these ones and roles and responsibilities, domain knowledge, implementation knowledge, and as I have a ERP knowledge, I just called out so how it, what kind of implementation I did, customer integrations, and here I called out high level what roles I'm playing now, and the overall summary, and this is on-site experience, where and all, how, what kind of on-site projects I have worked on, and total experience. This first, if you observe the senior, as if you are senior profile, first 2 pages, I'm going to give high level details. This will give a clear picture for the people what I am up to. Then they can look into the project. So for the first project, if I give more details, that's enough for them. So yeah, that's good. This is about the resume preparation. So the other part is going to be interview. So when it comes to the interview, you always make sure that tell me about yourself. That is very important because that is the only opportunity the interviewer giving us to judge how our communication, how our skills, how our presentation skills. So make sure that you should be able to tell 2 to 5 minutes to tell me about yourself, and don't give all personal details at all. You just give your name and you say that I have a 10 years experience and I worked on so project, and I worked on specific technologies. So you need to be very uh, descriptive, and you should be able to present yourself in a positive manner, and you should give a feeling saying that okay, this guy is a right fit for my job, because 90 percentage interviews we can decide a candidate 5 to 10 minutes. 90 percentage candidates it happens because we can clearly say that okay, really this candidate is worthy or not. So, and the most of the consequent questions also goes from the tell me about yourself only. So make sure that you give a proper, and I always suggest to people, you always have a one page profiler. So this one page profiler is nothing but you tell me about yourself, and you should be able to thoroughly understand this one page profiler. The reason I'm saying, when you go to any interview, when first you step into the interview room, there might be cases one person will be there, there's some cases 2 3 persons will be there, and the first thing is gesture is very important, and exchanging the gesture is, and always smiling to the interviewer. And I have seen a person, I mean, sometimes they're overconfidence also. So he might come from the bigger organization, Infosys, Microsoft. They think that okay, I'm coming from this. People easily can select me. No, it's not the case. So attitude is also very important. So you you're coming from any company. Who cares? You're coming for the interview. That means you're looking for the job. So always your attitude matters, and you should be feel, I mean, the interview should be able to feel that okay, you're looking for a job and you are more interested in this job, and you are more excited to work with the company. Not like that okay, I came from the bigger company so definitely they'll consider. It's not all the case. At the same time, the people who come from the smaller company, they feel that when they're attending interview, they feel that okay, I'm coming to this big company, I don't know the process. Nobody. There are, if you work on any work atmosphere for 1 or 2 months, you can easily pick up. So we always look for the candidates who has interest and who is willing to work with us. So don't be shy and be vocal. I especially I have seen the people, many people coming from the villages. They always not vocal. They just like I mean they know a lot of things, but they're unable to. The best approach I always say, if you are not very good at communication, try to put everything in the pen and paper. You get one or two white papers, or you ask the interviewer, he can provide the pen and paper, and show the diagrammatic way. That gives saying that okay, this guy have some planning skills or some designing skills, or at least the presentation skills are good. It's not mandatory everybody is good at communication orally, but some guys they might be very good at writing things. So it's always how best you are able to present yourself is very important. And that's what I told you, right? So tell me about self is very important. Prepare one page for yourself, saying that if somebody asks you, how should you able to present yourself? If somebody asks me, my name is Hari, so I have 15 plus years experience, and I worked as a solution architect, and I worked in so and so project, and I generate a revenue of 20 million, 30 million, and I'm managing a 200 people now, and I worked on so and so domain, and the present company I'm working in some by XYZ Technologies, and the previous company, and I'm playing a senior architect role, and I'm designing multiple focal projects, and this is my core business. I worked on finance sector, IT sector, like that. The way it continuously project yourself in a right manner with all your experience has to come into your sentences. That gives saying that okay, this guy worked in the bigger platform, bigger companies, and he has adequate answers. Then they'll go with. Once you're done with this, then but make sure don't make any mistake, because always interviewer try to pick the question from what you given answers to them. So the whatever the information you are saying, it's always you should be very confident. That's the reason I say you prepare. Tell me about yourself one pager. There you call out the sequence how you want to tell them. So then you talk about the project, and I suggest to people, when you are going for any interview, do some research on that company. Do some research on that company, saying that what that company about, what projects they have, for whom they are hiring, and that gives more value add. And the presentation or the skills what you are portraying more towards that then there are more winning chances. Because if they're looking for the banking domain guy, and you worked in the banking domain 2 years back, but if you're able to project that in a proper manner, they think that okay, this guy also having a banking domain experience, and he matches our requirement. So make sure that you always know about the company and know about the profile before you go into interview. This is applicable for more senior people and senior people also. Know about the company, know about the requirement, know about the project, and don't be shy to ask. Once you're done with your interview, don't be shy asking questions to interviewer. If you are unable to answer some questions, you end of the interview, you can ask the interviewer, if you don't mind, can you tell me that answer. uh, there are some cases where we were in a particular dilemma whether I have to hire this candidate or not, but while leaving the candidate, the way he asked and the way he showed enthusiasm, we able to pass those candidates, because that gives us saying that okay, this guy, it's not mandatory everybody knows everything, but do you have a learning skill or not? That is very important. Are you able to question? Are you able to get the information? That is also very important. So we always see the people who are more into and more collecting information, more looking toward the solution. So make sure that you be like that, and ask the client what project you are interview, what project they are looking for, what kind of role they are expecting. That is also very important, because I've seen many people, they just for the sake of changing the job, they just change the job. And one more thing I always suggest, don't change the job when you need it. Change a job when you have a skill. I have seen many people, they work in the companies 4 years, 5 years, that's good, but they feel that okay, I might be underutilized. During that time, they'll try to start looking the job, but that is not the right way. Let's say you worked on one or two domains, now you are working a banking domain for 3 years, then you feel that okay, I'm done with the banking domain. Now I want to learn new things, or I'm bored with. During the take those kind of a time, take steps. So because you have a confidence, you're working, and that confidence projects in your next interview. But if you are looking for a job where you have more pressure, or you seeing that okay, my project is going to ramp down, everybody is moving bench, I don't know how to get into job, or I might be the company might take some action, or they may put me bench, it's not looks good for me. Never take or never look job during the time. Always look the job when you are in a happy path, not when you are really need it, because the time is prone to make mistake, because you need desperately looking for a job. So you are trying to commit more mistakes during the time, and you don't have that confidence, because you are not concentrating, you are projecting the solution, you're concentrating more trying to please the interviewer and trying to get the job. You can't do that. I mean, might be you might succeed sometimes, but not the 100%. So when you are planning to look a job for you change your passion, not for your salary and all. Salary always comes with your experience and the work what you have done. Okay, and make sure you guys understand this. And if you have any questions, you just drop me down. So might be I'm not doing Telugu session today because I already done one time, but I'll do one more time. Lack of time, and I need to rush back for flight. So I supposed to do tomorrow, but as I'm flying tomorrow, I'm unable to do tomorrow. So I prepone this call today. So if you have any question, just drop it the message in the comments. I'll be in India next week. If somebody trying to reach me, just try to reach me, but not all the time. But you can reach me and put a comment over there. I can help you. Or if more people are there around, I'll be in Gunturu and one day in Hyderabad and one day in Vijayawada. So if a set of people they're looking for me to meet or want to take some inputs, I'm happy to meet you guys 1 hour anywhere, but I can't do individually. So gather a team and just I can come and give my inputs and help you guys. Thank you everyone. Have a good day, and please share this information to your friends also, because a lot of effort will go. And in fact, I thought of doing this for half an hour. In English itself, it went 1 hour, and still I had to cover a lot of topics, because it's not 1 day or 2 day preparation. It comes with 15, 16 years experience. So I can't put everything and try to squeeze. The less information I have provided in these videos, you can't get more meat in this. So that's why my meetings are my sessions are more lengthy. Be patient, but be listen. But these informations, not just I'm doing for sake of promoting or something. I'm trying to give what issues or what problems I have seen in my life and for my colleagues, or how the people struggle for the job. That's why I'm trying to help and give more information. So try to see more information and try to grab more information. If you guys have any question, just drop me a note below. See you guys next time. See you. Bye.